Hello everyone and welcome to this week's video. This week I really wanted to do a autumn warm palette inspired piece, and since I really wanted to play around with my new Schminke palette, I thought it'd be a perfect opportunity to finally break it in and try it out. I will be doing a video review of these in the future. I just wanted to have a few trials with it before giving my final thoughts. So as you can see here, this is a few sketch designs, what kind of thing I really wanted. I was really inspired by a lot of the leaves changing colour at the moment, as well as the whole idea of like the weather changing and seasonal sort of things. So this is Autumna, and her and a squirrel friend are helping the leaves change with the seasons, and they use the leaves and the acorns to make nice teas and coffees. I thought it was a really cute idea, and since I've been really inspired by the autumn season at the moment and the really warm palettes, I just really wanted to play around with some colours. I've been having a lot of play around with inks at the moment with Inktober, and I just thought it would be a perfect idea to play around with some things that I'd learned from doing that. So the full list of equipment that I'm using, as always, the equipment list is down below. I'm just using a standard a mechanical pencil here. It's just a standard HB pencil with the little green cat on top, which I lovingly refer to that it's inspired by Prickles. I also use my WH Smith pencils to pencil out the lines, and the Schminke palette, as well as the Pentel white gel pen. Please let me know if I'm pronouncing that correctly. As far as I'm aware, I am, but let me know in the comment section down below. I thought this would finally be the perfect time. I've had this palette sitting. I treated myself to it for my birthday, and I've been really scared to use it because my Winsor & Newton palette I've had for years, and I don't like replacing things until I've completely used them. I think it's really important to use things until they're completely gone, therefore we're not wasting materials. And since this is a professional or artist grade palette, I just really thought I was kind of scared to use it, and thought this was the perfect time since I've been really stressed after Comic-Con, well, in the lead up to Comic-Con, and with all my deadlines, and since I finally met all my deadlines that I really wanted to do, even though there's still a lot of work to currently do, I just thought it'd be perfect to treat myself. You could probably hear Bella in the background scratching up on the chair. She's been very helpful. I'm going to say helpful in quotation marks while I've been prepping for Comic-Con by making sure that she's lying across everything I'm working on, which is absolutely fantastic. I wanted to do something different for this week's video, but with deadlines that have been coming up, unfortunately I didn't have time to solidly work on a lot of things that I really wanted to work on. But I thought this was a nice compromise. It's still a fairly detailed spot illustration, not a full character design, but half character design. I do have the full character design of this witch owl. I kind of like this idea that she's a very modern witch, that she lives sort of in the modern age, just has a little coffee house that's in the middle of these woods, which has lots of birch trees and oak trees. I just thought it was really fun to play around with. So first thoughts on the Schminke palette. First thing is, these colours are so bright and so vibrant. It is so different from using the Winsor & Newton palette. Like, holy smokes, like the colour variation difference is a lot to learn with. The colours are very vibrant when they're laid down, which is not something that I'm massively used to. I'm used to having to build up quite a bit of layers. They're a lot more vibrant and a lot less opaque than the Winsor & Newton palette. I've been using the Winsor & Newton Cotman palette, not professional palette, for years, so it's a lot different than what I'm used to. I kind of would compare this between like what I've experienced with gouache and what I've experienced with the Winsor & Newton watercolour palette so far. It's kind of like a happy medium where the colours are still very bright and vibrant. I'm having to do a lot less layering than I would normally do. I'm also using cold press paper here, which is good for when I'm trying out a palette the first time, because sometimes I don't know how much water I need to use before it gets to the point where it needs to, before I can start layering. With hot press, it's a lot easier for me to build up layers because I don't require as much water, whereas with cold press I'm using a lot more water, and I tend to use cold press for when I'm first starting out with a palette because I'm not sure how I'm going to react with it. So it was a lot of layering with this. Overall this piece took around about 3 hours including drying times. I don't have a dryer at the moment. My hairdryer is broken and I don't have a craft dryer yet. It is something that I would like to invest in because it does help speed up drying times in between layering. But overall I'm really happy with the feel that I got with this piece. It's a very warm, very inviting piece. I'm really happy with the fact that I went with a very soft layer approach. So normally I would layer line work with fine liners or pencil crayons, and I decided to do a very clean pencil sketch underneath and then build up the layers with watercolours and have the watercolours as the layers instead. There's still a lot to learn with this palette because it's very different. It's kind of weird. I've been working so long with one watercolor palette to go to a completely different palette. It's trying to like relearn a lot of watercolor experiences that I have. Just because like I was so used to layering a certain way with the other palette. I really do like this so far. I want to do a few more pieces with it and then do a proper review to see how I feel in the future. But overall, I'm really, really happy with it. I think I got a little bit lazy towards the end just because I'd done so much layering and done so many leaves. I was just like, I'm done with this now. I'm done. After working on it on and off for several hours, I was just like, I'm done now. I don't want to see this piece much more. But I'm really happy with this, and this is going to be a print at MCM Comic Con, which I am going to be at MCM Comic Con not this weekend, the weekend after, and I'm going to be in Comic Village. I'm really excited if you are going to be there. There is more posts on my social media if you are interested in checking that out. My links to all my social medias are down below. But no, I'm really inspired by autumn at the moment. It's a season that tends to really get me invigorated and really inspired. I tend to draw a lot when it's colder just because I'm more inspired by colder weather. I don't know why. It's just the way I've always been. But I really love the idea of an autumn hug, and I would love to challenge you guys to kind of draw this in your style, or use the theme autumn hug. What does autumn mean to you? Like, I would really be interested in hearing your comments down below, or like what inspires you the most about the autumn period. For me, it's the colour palettes. I really love the changes of colour palettes from a very cool to a very warm colour palette. I love like how palettes change and what you can do with certain colours. Like with autumn there can be still a lot of greens which go into warmer tones with yellows and oranges and reds, and I just really love the changing of those colours. I just think it's really fascinating, and it sounds really nerdy, but I just like seeing it all. I like seeing change. I just think it's really inspiring to me in particular and to other people as well. But now I'd be really interested in seeing what you guys would do with the same theme, like autumn hugs. Like, what does that mean to you? And maybe I should do seasonal witches. Maybe I should do like a winter seasonal witch, a spring and a summer. What do you guys think? Let me know in the comment section down below. I'm really like, I don't know, I just feel like really inspired to draw lately, and it's really good to get a groove back when you've been stuck in a rut for quite a while. I'm just feeling really motivated, and it's good, especially considering I've been feeling a bit down lately about my art, but I'm finally getting back to where I want to be, which is good because there's lots of projects to get on with, and I need a good boost. I just need that boost to get back on. So I really hope you guys have enjoyed this piece. I really did enjoy drawing it, and I'm really loving this new palette. You may see it more in future videos. I'd love to try all the palettes that I possibly could, but you know, I can't afford every single palette that is out there. I just like trying out different things to see whether or not it's suited for what I want to do, and I really loved the colours in this. I tried to use as many as I could, but here is the final piece, and I'm really happy with it, and I'm really excited to have this as a new print on my table. I'm really happy with the direction that my art's been going lately. I'm finally getting to a point that I'm really happy with my work, but I've really enjoyed using this, and maybe if you guys want to see like more reviews and stuff, let me know in the comment section down below. Is there anything that I should try out? And, you know, let me know. I'm always interested in seeing what you guys think. But I hope you guys have enjoyed this video and have enjoyed this piece, and have a wonderful day. Maybe subscribe if you're new, but as always folks, stay creative.